Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Bait Shop. We got my new partner in crime hanging out with us. We got Freddie's Outdoor Adventures. What's going on, Mr. Freddie?
What's going on, Chad? Excited for this show. Getting to interview somebody tonight.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, we have. Now, Mike, I'm going to have to ask you to leave and come back because you've changed your name recently from. Well, I'm sorry. I changed your name from Bumpin' Mike Greenwell to Suspension Mike Greenwell. So we'll see you later. Come on back when you corrected the area with your ways. I'm just kidding. Welcome, Mr. Bumpin' Mike. If nobody knows Bumpin' Mike, you're missing out. This guy is a bumpin' master. So welcome to the Bait Shop, brother.
Appreciate you having me on, brother.
I seen Miss Chrissy Brown was the first one in here, taking first place away from Avid Fisherman, but Avid did come in a close second place. Welcome, Mr. Avid. Fishing the Mid-South. We've got John Patrick Jr. Want to wish John Patrick Jr. a happy birthday. Today is his birthday. We got Jeremy Colvin fishing. What's going on, buddy? Here's Freddie. There we go. Getting some more people here. We got Fishing in Freedom. My sister, Betty Jean Cross, a couple crosses fishing. I'll be hanging out with her this weekend. I'm going to go up there and teach her how to crappie fish, I think. Okay, she's going to teach us how to crappie fish. Let's see. There we go. We got Brian B. Dinkins is in the house. Kenneth from Takedown Catfishing. We've got Parker Pursuits. We'll be bringing up Mr. Parker Pursuits probably later on in the show. Stick around. We got 351 Cleveland, Philip Williams. We've got Muskrat Adventures, Creole Catfishing. We've got, let's see, Stephen Corley. What's going on? Miss Nina's Kayak Crew. Lance McCugai. Hooks and Hammocks. I hope his better half comes in here.
That's the shorter one.
Yeah, he's like 4'11". I love fishing with him because he makes me feel really big, and not just that. We got Ernie Brown, Catfishing Crappie. My brother Mark. What's going on, buddy? Mike Irvin, and we got Art from 1 Ton Fishing Club. Joe Buck 66. What's up, buddy? James Kirkpatrick. Rams Bait and Tackle, San Antonio, Texas.
Your BFF and my BFF. You got Brian B. and J-Dog.
We got J-Dog in the house?
Yeah.
J-Dog is in the house. J-Dog is on the river right now, recreating the Fish-A-Wish tournament where he's taking out Lee Evans and the Bullock Experience. Kirador Arco, what's going on, Al? JP3, I hope you bought your daddy something nice for his birthday. I think I'm caught up.
You forgot the most important one. She's in the other room from you.
Oh, I don't know who you're talking about.
The lovely D.
Oh yeah, I forget about her every once in a while. Sorry, I was having a catfish and crappie moment where I forget people.
You just don't hit the end button.
I did that one time. Not like Mark did when he was going to do a giveaway and got everybody's hopes up. It just ended the stream. We got V3 Customs. What's going on, buddy?
You got Roger from Muskrat also in here.
I seen that there. Oh, I guess I should say hi to. Now I'll say hi to David Smith instead. What's going on, David Smith? Want to be outdoors? I guess I'll say hi to you. I hurt his feelings the other day. I missed him, and I was driving home and just trying to hurry up and say hi to people in a chat at stoplights, and I missed him. And he sent me a nasty letter, said he was going to pull the plug on his subscription to me, and all that kind of stuff. I had to, rest his little head on my shoulder and pat him on the back and say, I love you, brother. It's okay. Come on back now. Be my friend. It's okay. We got Mr. Sampy in the house. What's going on? Okay.
The chat is just a flying. It's hard to keep up with them. Art from 1 Ton's in here. And there's Van from V3.
Audio here. There we go. Comments. See, Mike, mine just did it. I had to do that audio thing I was teaching you earlier. We got William Warner, Pork Chop. What's going on? All right, Dan Thompson. I think we're all caught up. Big Slim 91. Every time I say it, I think I find another one. People just keep on coming in. It's good. That's a good thing, I guess. Right? We need viewers, right? So, there's my buddy Christina Dunnigan. Give my godson Chadwick James a hug and a kiss for me. Caitlin, you guys stay awesome. All right, so let's dig into tonight. So, Bumpin' Mike and I were, messaging back and forth the other day about the great tournament that Josh Dunnigan put on this past weekend, the Tacticats. Bumpin' Mike changed his entire way. All this time, I endorsed him and created the Bumpin' Mike Greenwell name. We'll take credit for that, Mike. But he changed his way, and Mike had a great tournament. Mike put almost like 320 to 30 pounders almost in the boat within like 5 minutes. It seemed like. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it started out with the 18-pounder. Suspend drifting.
Suspending Mike.
I got that fish in the boat, and as I was weighing it, y'all seen the net screw up, so I couldn't net any more fish, so that sucked.
Yeah.
But as I was weighing that fish, I noticed another rod looking like it was going down. It kind of caught the corner of my eye. Got that fish weighed, released, looked over, and bam, rod down. Get that fish in the boat. That was the 26-pounder. As soon as that fish got released, look over, boom, rod down. So it was an 18, a 26, and a 25. Just bam, bam, bam.
And note that you said 26 and then 25. So Josh pencil whipped it, so we didn't count that 25-pounder. Now, do you feel as cheated as I did to be beat in the Tacticats tournament by the so-called fish that Jerry Parker was catching?
You mean the bait fish for me he was catching?
Yeah, the bait fish that he was more bait fishing than anything, but
yeah, that was, I give it to him because he went in with a good plan, but man, at one time I think he had 9 fish and he might have had 3.4 pounds.
Yeah, I think he was pushing. Probably the first 10 fish he caught was probably around 2.5 pounds, but
Roger, I've got a separate phone off to the right here. I'm looking at on chat because I can't pull up chat on the main screen. So
we got a new person. Hold on 1 second. I will find the new person after I call out Brian B. Dinkins and his Dink Fest that he puts on every time he's in a tournament. Let's see.
Well, I'm the new favorite host from what I'm being told.
Well, good. I'm glad that I brought somebody in that can bring in the crowd.
She's in the other room from you. What are you talking about?
Nina. We got Moose Gal's Corner. Welcome to the show. Now, since you're new to the show, I will warn you that this is not your everyday educational type show. There is no script to this. There's God only knows what we're going to say on this show or who we're going to make fun of, or if I get bored and I see Brian B. Dinkins running his mouth, I may just do this to him so we don't have to hear it for 5 minutes. Never know what's going to happen around here. So now back to the show. Before we go any further, I meant to start out with this right after we got done talking or saying hi to everybody. But, we do joke a lot around on this show and stuff like that. But I do want to have a serious thing real quick. One of our family members does need some thoughts and prayers going out to him. I will not give out the details or anything like that, but our good friend Pops, aka the Twerking Monkey, over at K&B Anglers, is having some issues, and just like I said, I really appreciate if everybody would keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He really could use the positive vibes right now. So, just thank you for anybody that can send that out. I really do appreciate that. Okay, back to unserious now. We got Tina Ladybug. What's going on? So before we get any further, I want to keep harping on this tournament. I don't want to leave this tournament alone yet, because I really feel, wow, you put on a great show, Bump and Mike. You got the biggest fish of the tournament, no doubt. But I kind of feel you were robbed for second place as well, and I was robbed. Well, sorry, before I get something thrown at me, D and I were robbed for first place. I called out Jerry Parker the other day, and he even sent me some nasty text messages saying, "What do you mean I'm a cheater?" and this and that. So we're not even talking anymore right now, but I feel like it's my job to bring this to light, that the man either, one, doesn't know how to weigh the fish, or two, had something shady going on. And I'm going to bring this to the public's attention. Okay. So I'm going to share a photograph right now, and you guys can decide if we need to protest, to Josh from the Weekend Angler to overturn the ruling of who won this tournament. Here we go. Now, as you can see here, we have improper weighing technique from the kayak, where Jerry Parker is weighing fish halfway across his lap.
So was that a step up fish, Chad? I'm thinking it might have been, just a little bit bigger and then a little bit bigger. If you lay it across your lap, you can shave some weight off just to get that step up.
Yeah. I'm thinking after this fish was weighed, he may have weighed an even smaller one with more weight. What? I mean, come on, guys and gals. Now, I know he was in a kayak. It is a little bit more difficult to weigh the fish, but I think on a technical ruling that D and I won this tournament. Now, but Mike, what do you say? You can make an argument for yourself, but obviously D and I were the better anglers that day. So what do you think?
Well, I just say if we go by most fish, we should go by most fish and big fish. So, well, that was one.
Oh, hold on, I'll get back to this. We have an executive decision that we do have indeed a flag on the play. Now,
well, if you didn't win, I would say something. I would protest myself, but you did catch a couple fish. You didn't let D catch them all.
Hey, we could go to a kicker that I also caught the biggest stick of the day at 2.94 pounds.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I had some multi-species, but then you got to go with Bump and Mike. Bump and Mike had the grand slam. So, not that I'm trying to give you the win. I'm just trying to get you a close second place.
Well, I have to give you credit because you fought that tree fish like a 40-pounder. So,
hey, I'm not going to lie to you. That felt like it was at least a 40, 45-pound fish. It kept diving on me. It was in 3 foot of water, but it would come up and it would dive back down, and it would fight for a minute, and I'd get it, and all of a sudden, then it would start swimming towards the boat. Yes, the stick swam towards the boat. So, hey, Sunfish Assassin.
That's something else that I thought was funny. You guys were pulling in really shallow water and, catching fish all day long. I was drifting nothing less than 30 foot and was catching fish all day long. So fish were just scattered. Fish were biting no matter where we was.
Well, that's what's weird to me is we did that whole lap around that bay, and I think we ended up catching 8 or 9 in there. But we went out to the main river, and we were 35 to 45 foot, and we marked fish like you wouldn't believe up through there. And the only thing we caught was 2 more channel cats. No idea what was going on, but they was not digging dragging baits up through there. I mean, I must have marked hundreds and hundreds of fish. The depth finder never had a moment where there wasn't fish being marked on the screen, and we couldn't catch anything. So, the best hooks and hammocks. We got Miss Telly in the house. Miss somebody.
Oh, and there's Dewey Cooter just jumped in, so we got Dewey in the house.
We got Dewey Cooter in the house, along with 252 outdoorsmen. What's going on? Oh, look, Brian B's talking again, guys. Let me help him out with that.
Looks like Lyle from Catfish Weekly jumped in just a few minutes ago as well. So we got the whole crew now.
I'm getting yelled at from the other room.
You're going to get more than a yell if you keep doing what you just doing.
I do want to say a happy birthday to Mr. Lyle. Well, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us, Mr. Lyle. But Lyle had a birthday on Tuesday. Right? Yeah, it was Tuesday was his birthday. So happy birthday to you. Very much hope that you had a great day. I did ask that Miss Cindy make you some Cindy bonds. I don't know if you got them. They may have been shipped to my house. I don't know. I'm just saying. She has a tendency to do that. She gives me more Cindy bonds than anybody else. Okay. I will say that right after the show, quit telling me what to do on my own show. How about that?
Back to the show.
Right after this show, we have Panfish Nation, and they've had some amazing guests on that show. Everybody from the low tier, like Justin Fishing Fetish, all the way up to Babe Winkleman. And now tonight, they're going even further than Babe Winkleman level, and they will have the Chad on Panfish Nation. I hope to see you guys over there.
So back to this tournament and getting some information from Mike here. You know, me being a newer person. Now, Mike, when you start catching fish, if you're drifting, do you stop and anchor down on them and sit on those fish if you start catching multiple ones in the same spot?
No. Most of the time, if I'm catching good fish in a drift line, I'll just pull back up and re-drift that same line over and over. But like Saturday, you know, things got crazy so fast. I actually did spot lock with the trolling motor, and I sit in that one spot, caught all 3 of those fish that day. But usually, I'll just catch one, pull back up, and just if it's a 2-mile drift, I'll just redo that 2-mile drift.
Nice. Now, what kind of bait were you using this past Saturday?
Oh goodness, I had shad, I had carp, I had little suckers, and I had chicken. I had an assortment out there for them.
A good little variety.
And what was your best bait Saturday?
Before that tournament, I was actually out there throwing a cast net for an hour, and I caught little bitty shad, little bitty suckers, and 1 carp. Luckily, I ran out of bait as the tournament was ending. So luckily, I didn't have much. I couldn't do any more fishing because I ran out of bait. That was a good day. Thanks, Chad. You just brought the rain here. You talked about rain earlier. Wasn't raining now. It's pouring.
You can blame Lyle Stokes because it has rained out of his house almost every day this year. Is messing with the Chad in here? There
Roger,
he is. There's my buddy messing with the Chad is in the house. Glad to have you. That's one of my biggest fans.
I would say so. He uses your picture and everything.
It's a good looking picture.
Yeah, Roger. We had right at 1.2 mile per hour current Saturday, and I slowed the boat down to like 0.7.
I won't even mess with that one.
Well, I am sorry that you are going to unsub from all three of your accounts, Madre. Rhonda. I hope that we can regain your love and support in some way or another. But yeah, it's going to be raining. It rained all day today, and it's going to rain tomorrow, and it's going to be clearing up between like 7 and 8 o'clock around here Saturday morning, just in time to go fishing. So.
Yeah, it's supposed to clear up tomorrow afternoon here, so I'm hoping to get out tomorrow afternoon or Saturday myself.
What's going on, small town? So, Mike, we were talking before the show. It's about you're getting that current starting to build up down there. Are you getting the itch?
I am.
Are you ready to go back to bumping?
Really bad. I will be out bumping. If we got anything over a mile an hour current, I will be out getting it.
Well,
which I'm pretty sure I got a mile an hour current falling right here behind me.
I was going to say, it's the way this rain's coming down, and J-Dog and him were out on the boat earlier, and he said it looked to be up there about 2 to 3 mile an hour. So
it's going to, the last time I looked at the river graph, it's going to get up to like 18.7, which I'm sure it'll go higher with this rain here, but
yes,
that's perfect. That'll get it to like 2.3, 2.4 mile an hour. I slow it down to about 1.5, and that's just great.
Now, do you increase your weight and stuff whenever you do that on your lead and stuff?
I'm sorry?
Now, do you increase your weight size on whenever the current gets stronger for you?
It depends on, in the really warmer water, I'll have the boat going a lot faster. With the water cooling down a little bit, I'll have the boat going a little bit slower. So the slower the boat, the more weight you'll need.
Now teach us a little bit of something about bumping, because I was talking to you before. I've got the equipment. I have yet to do it. Roger was making fun of me a while back, probably about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, when I mentioned that I'm looking at in the spring to do another tournament that would make you drool called Bumping for Biggins. And he's like, you don't even bump. I mean, just because he goes down to the Tennessee River and catches a monster fish on bumping, I mean, he got lucky. It was really meant for Zach, but that's okay. Felt bad that he took Zach's fish.
Chad, you're going to have to do exactly what I did. When I first started bumping, was getting into it, I just took bumping rods. And then the current was going about 3 mile an hour. So I got over into an inside bend, and I was bumping a real sandy bottom. You just go over it, because if you can feel it in that sand, because it's like a vacuum. Whenever it pops in that sand, it'll like suck in, and then you pull it back out. If you can feel it in that, when you get out in that other stuff and the heavier current, the faster water, you'll definitely be able to feel it.
Sorry.
Well, Nina's kayak crew wanted to know, Mike, what type of equipment do you use? I'm guessing she means rod and reel.
For bumping or just normal?
I'd probably say for bumping, since that's your
I
go-to.
use the B&M bumping rods for bumping, and an Abu Garcia 6600 record for the reel. You get just a regular three-way, but you make it a little bit longer so that bait can flutter out there about 2.5 foot. Then I make the sinker leader touch the right in the middle of the ball sinker. So if I got a 2.5 foot leader for hook, I got 1.5 foot for sinker.
You've made me have a philosophical question in my head now, Mike. So you were saying, like, at 3 mile an hour current, you're gonna bump at like, or you're gonna slow your boat down to 1.5 miles, right?
Depending.
Well, okay, so around there, right? Now, when you are suspend drifting, what speeds are you doing to suspend drift?
See, that's
yeah. See, I'm sitting there like I'm thinking. I try to keep mine at like 25, or
I have suspend drifted at 2.5 mile an hour. you had like 3 mile an hour current and slow the boat down just a little bit, but the water temperature was in the 70s and it was going up. And I had the boat going 2.5 mile an hour and we was catching fish. If you think back to spring this year when I took Serena and Thomas out with me, we didn't bump that day, and I was doing a little bit, but I didn't bump with them, and we actually had like 2.3 mile an hour current. I was slowing the boat down to 1.8, and we was catching fish that day with them.
Sorry, I'm getting some messages here, trying to figure out what's going on. I think I'm missing something.
I'm trying to read the scrolling, and it's going mighty fast. But we do have 55 in chat right now, so that's a good thing.
It is. Great number. There's Lucky Ronnie. And I've seen somebody else. I've seen my buddy there, Tim Molina.
And I've seen Chucky in here just a second ago as well. So what's going on now, Stan?
Let's see. Brian's now saying I'm a bully. I seen Chunky. He was crying to Chunky because Chunky is king of the Potomac, and he thinks that's like his daddy now. Maybe that's his grandpa since Chunky smacked Haz like he was his daddy. Wouldn't that make and Haz is Brian's daddy? It's getting all confusing on me now, so I don't know.
Hey, Roger, I agree, man. Let her eat. But when you're suspend drifting at 2.5 mile an hour, you better be watching that depth finder.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I could keep up with the depth changes at 2.5 mile an hour. Trying to make sure you don't run into something.
When a rod gets hung up, you'll know it.
Well, yeah, your boat's going to go woof.
Well, and you break a rod like I did Serena's rod that day. Oh, my God, I felt so bad.
Yeah. Creole, wrong one. Hey, David Martin. Creole says bumping at 3 mile an hour keeps you on your toes. I would think so, because
and when I get to bumping in that heavy current like that, I kind of get in the zone.
Sorry. I apologize. I had to tell Brian B to shut up. He's over here pulling up Freddie from last week, asking for a wrong thumbs way.
I'm not saying nothing about that this week, okay? I learned my lesson. So Mike, when you bumping in faster current, do you reduce your rods that you have out?
I don't know what's going
on. I usually just have the bumping rod out by itself. When I'm bumping, God, that's ugly. Sorry, we got the football game on too. But yeah, when I'm bumping in 3 mile an hour, I usually just have that one rod, and I get in the zone, and I've heard other guys say it, and I kind of chuckled when I heard them say it. But you get going, you get relaxed, and you're just sitting there, and that fish hits it almost literally takes the rod out of your hand. That's why I like that B&M rod, because it's got that trigger on it. Like you just kind of rest that finger on there, and that helps give you a little bit of extra support just in case.
Yeah, I've heard of people doing 2 rods at a time, one in each hand, bumping. I just don't see how you can do it.
There we go.
We do it whenever one of us, if we got, a partner in the boat and one of us is, doing something, grabbing a snack or something, we'll do it then. But you don't want to do it for a long period of time. I mean, mainly, if you get hooked up with a fish, you can't reel the other one in to put it in a rod holder. The next thing you know, that rod's hung up, and then you're just all screwed up. You don't want that.
Yeah. Now, what you were saying, when you go out, so when you're going with the mentality of bumping, you're just taking bumping equipment, or do you take things unless you decide to change your mind?
It's not so much change my mind. It's more of what the river conditions are doing. Let's say if I haven't been out in a week, I'm definitely taking my suspending rods, my bumping rods. I'm taking everything. But if I was out yesterday and I know exactly what the river's doing, I'm just taking what I need.
Gotcha. Now, see, Dee is always laughing at me because I bring everything in the kitchen sink when it comes to my rods and reels. She'd be like, "We're not going to use all of them." I'm like, no, but I'm if I want to change from, dragging to suspending, I want to have a few ready to go, so I can just go ahead and get a couple at least in the water while I'm switching the, leaders over on the other ones.
That's I'm not big on the the rig wraps or nothing like that nowadays, but because they're expensive mainly. But I will take and put rigs in Ziploc baggies or whatever, and I make a bunch of rigs up. So if I do get to the river and it's totally different than what I thought, I'll change everything around. Because I like my suspending rigs to be a little bit longer than I do my anchoring rig. So if I'm going to anchor, I've got different rigs for anchoring. Same thing, it's just a little bit longer.
You guys are killing me. Sean T, what's going on? No, I do the same thing. I've actually went to where the little sandwich bags were, even the snack bags work, for like the double rigs and stuff that I use. But I use the sandwich bags for my long leaders for dragging. They have the dragging demon dragons and stuff on them just because it holds it all. But that's all I use anymore. I've got a tackle bag just full of those. That's all I take with me when and I have one box that has my sinker slides and the quick clips and stuff like that. That's all in one little box, and that's pretty much what I take. There's a bag full of those.
I've seen other guys use OCD cases.
Me. Yeah, I found one of those at Walmart. It was Berkeley. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was when I went out with Roger for the first time. He had one of them. It looked like in one of them old CD cases like we had in the 90s. Just folded open, and it's got the sleeves and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I bought one, and I've literally never used it yet. And I probably have had that thing 8 months. I found it the other day in the junk room.
Roger said that's right there. The kids' crayon pouches for school, for the trapper keepers. I've got a whole bunch of them I just bought to put my stuff in.
But how am I going to go and lose my wrench on my own show? Skin and Scales, what's going on? There's John Boys. Now, I was hoping to see my boy Haz in here. I have not seen. I might have missed him. My boy Dan from Green Machine. Right now, the only one we have in chat is Brian B. But we're at the half-hour mark, and I want to bring up that apparently there is a new band in town.
I heard that too, Chad.
Have you guys heard about this?
I have. Do you have any information on that?
Yeah, they have their first album out. I want to show everybody this if you don't have Facebook and haven't seen this. But we have the Potomac James Street Boys. Now, they have their first album due out called Blue Cat something, all right. I don't know. Stan is the leader of this whole group and gave me a list, but I can't remember it, to be honest with you. But I definitely want you guys to support this new band. They're very much in love and putting out some awesome music. So,
yeah, maybe Brian B on his no script have a one-hit wonder out there with their group that's starting them out or something.
Well, Brian B seems to think that he is the leader of this, but hey, there's Miss Becca. So all you got to do is talk about boy bands, and here comes Miss Becca. I never would have thought that's what gets her out of hiding. But yeah, I can't remember what he called it. Blue Cat's Back All Right. That's what it was called. Blue Cat's Back All Right is the first #1 single that they're going to be putting out. So look forward to that. Go over and check these guys out. Make sure you tell them that the Chad sent you.
And there's Carolina Real Screamers just jumping in. Jamie and Rebecca, how y'all? And then I seen Palmetto in here just a little bit ago, so I'll make sure we send a shout out to Cal.
I missed him too. Well, shout out
to Mr.
Palmetto.
He was driving. I'm guessing he was on the way home from work, but
yep, he said it before. This is a busy time of the year with all the football and sports and everything else going on right now.
Sean T Outdoors, them Island Boys, they are cracking me up.
Yeah, and there was another one from the Bullock Experience. Don't forget about the what did he say? Like a sturgeon.
Yeah, that's one they're working on. Like a Sturgeon. It's going to be a remake of one of the old Madonna songs. We got Like a
That should be pretty good.
Sturgeon.
Yeah, that one should be actually pretty good with the, the five of them coming in together and doing it.
What's this? Who's this? Chad Can't Beat Me. I bet this is another one of them Potomac River Rat Boys or something. That's a tribute band to the ones that I was just talking about. I bet that's what this is. Chad Can't Beat Me. Come on, get out of here.
I just seen Uncle Josh is listening while he's driving, so I want to say hey to Uncle Josh. He won't be able to comment, but he's listening to us. So
all right, what's up, Uncle Josh? Welcome. 66 beautiful people. Well, 65, and then we got this Chad Can't Beat Me fella. I don't know who that is, but I guarantee you my buddy messing with the Chad will take you on anytime. And once you get past messing with the Chad, then you can come at me. Speaking of anglers, and I mean professional anglers, we have real-time catfishing. That's Catfish John is in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, the show has been made now. Welcome, sir. Appreciate you being here.
Oh, there's Larry from 3+1 as well.
Yeah, our buddy Larry from 3+1. If the person that says Chad can't beat me, go talk to my buddy Larry and tell him, and he'll let you know how great of an angler the Chad is. And you might not want to mess with him. That's all I got to say. I mean, when you've got to do stuff like this to beat the Chad, I mean, come on. That's just getting desperate, don't you think, Mike?
No, to beat the D, not the Chad.
100%.
It's to beat the D, not the Chad. Okay?
So I don't want to hear that negativity either, mister. Keep it up. Last week you were asking for bad stuff, and this week you're torturing me with D being the best. You only get 3 strikes.
That's a fact, though. We know that one's a fact. That's not.
You know what? I will bring James Dockery back to this show right now. He's been begging me to get back here, and I said no for now. I said I'm going to see how Freddie does, but right now Freddie's on 2 strikes. I might have to bring him back.
Well,
let's get back to our
guest.
Let's get back to our guest of honor here, Mr. Bumpin' Mike Greenwell. So this was your first live YouTube tournament, right?
Yes, it was.
So was it everything you dreamed of?
I must say it was pretty fun. It was a lot more fun than what I thought it was going to be honest.
Yeah, because you're coming from a real, real, I say real, but like you do a lot of the local fishing club tournaments, right? The poor boys tournaments and all that kind of stuff. I know you have some mutual local clubs that you fish that sometimes comes up around here, that you have other ones that you fish more primarily, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some that we've came up close to your area a few times, and we've done some up there, and we've really fished the river pretty hard from Louisville all the way down to Shawneetown, Illinois.
Yeah.
In tournaments.
Yeah, I think the one that comes up here more close to me is that Indiana Catfish Association that you fish with every once in a while.
The Indiana Catfish Association comes up there, and Ricky Islett is the Power Catting Club. They come up pretty far.
Okay, see, I'm not familiar with them. So now that you've seen both sides of, the money tournaments, the club tournaments, and this, what is some of the things you liked about the online tournaments that's different from your local club tournaments?
Get the fish in the boat, show the fish off, weigh the fish, put the fish back. That's number one.
Good answer.
That's number one.
Oh, I got to say, my son just jumped in. Trey Beck's Outdoor Adventures. So everybody say hey to Trey.
I mean, especially Saturday, I caught those 3 fish back to back to back. And It was like 50 foot of water is where all three of those fish came from. And I even said in the tournament, I'm bringing them up slow because I'm in the 50 foot. And, as you release them, you can sit there and watch, make sure they go down. In a regular tournament, you put them fish in a live well, run around for half the day or all day, and then you don't even get to see the release on them.
That is true. I've often wondered, especially when you get out there, and I don't know how many times this has happened to you, but one of your big fish is like one of your first fish you catch, and then you're putting that in a live well for like 7-8 hours, and you're constantly trying, especially in the summer, and you do it all year round, but deadly in the summer with all that heat, you're constantly checking it, cycling out that water, and just hoping that fish makes it. And then by the time you weigh it in and put it back in the water, you're like, I hope that fish really does survive. It was good when you got to the weigh-in, but you don't know, right?
All right, you never know.
So as long as you know how to, especially in that deep water, that 45, 50 feet, bring it up slow, check it when you get it up there to make sure it's not full of air, and you get it back in, that fish has probably a 99% chance that it's going to be all right. So,
and I like releasing them pretty close to where you catch them, because you can see if that fish is, you're not throwing the fish in and motor, and you can sit there and watch, make sure he goes down, and you can kind of canvas the water downstream to make sure he didn't pop back up.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like in the live wells and stuff, that bothers me. And it's like when you're just sitting there and then wake boats come by, or you're trying to go to another spot, or you're flying back to the weigh-ins and you're hitting those water, and you know that water is splashing out the sides, that fish is just getting slammed everywhere. And it's just like, that fish is going to be so stressed by the time that we put them back at a real tournament.
Well, that's what this was in 2017. We finished 12th in Monsters on the Ohio out of 194 boats.
That's
But
awesome.
we got back to what we locked through, and when we got back to Owensboro Riverfront, I said, let me check these fish. We opened the live well, and there wasn't no water in the live well.
Wow.
The fish moving around, it pulled the plug, and all the water drained. You talk about a heart stoppage.
Oh,
My
absolutely.
God. We had 80 something pounds, and I knew we didn't have enough to win it, but I knew we had enough to have a good showing. And my heart just dropped. I thought for sure we lost all of our fish, but I guess it just happened and they was all fine. But
look, Brian's trying to pawn me off on some other. He doesn't want to ever face me again, because he knows that if it wasn't for that river barge and that Queen of the Mississippi that cut me off, I would have so been facing Creole in the finals of the 1v1 tournament. But would I ever do a 1v1 against Bumpin' Mike? Absolutely. I enjoy losing. You know why? Because it means I'm out there fishing. I'm not afraid to lose.
Right.
Yeah, D double dog dared you too.
What?
Yeah, you have to read the chat back. I'm not going to read all that, but it's up there a little ways. There was a double dog dare in there somewhere.
Oh, now there's a. Yeah, I see the double dog there. This is serious. But yeah, no, I mean, this is all fun, man. The reason why we really should be doing this is for the fun. Just like you was talking about when we were actually discussing this before, you kind of said it was a little bit less stressful too. It was just you was out there having fun, and it wasn't that stress of there's money on the line. You got to take care of those fish all day. There's this, there's that. When you're doing those local club tournaments or the big tournaments, there's a lot of pressure that goes into those. And we're here to fish and have fun with each other, bull crap with each other, tease each other, time out Brian B because he runs his mouth, that kind of stuff. But even that isn't fun, and that's what we got to keep this. And I think you kind of hit it on the nail on the head on the nail there, or nail on the head, or whatever you want to call it. I'm talking too much. Miss Becky, you have a wonderful night, dear. But it is. You got to keep this stuff fun, and I think not having that high pressure tournament situation where we can go out and just have fun, and if you do well, you had a good day. That's great. But it's more about the community and camaraderie in this than anything. So even if you are really pencil whipped, and then you have this happen to you by John Parker. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Just disappointed, but that's okay.
Now, Nina's Kayak Crew wants to know, what is your biggest fish ever caught, Mike?
My biggest fish is 49 pounds. I've got a 49-pound blue cat. I got a 44-pound flathead.
I'll get there one day. I'm in the 20-pound club.
I've been in the boat and had the opportunity to net a 92-pound blue catfish.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember. What was it? It was 92, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember that one. That one was pretty phenomenal. I have seen 2 challenges.
Larry wanted to remind me that he was in the house. It's not Larry from 3+1. It's actually Moon Man from 3+1, just to let y'all know.
Moon Man from 3+1.
Yeah. We don't call him Larry no more. We call him Moon Man. There's Haz. He's in now.
Haz, November 6th, buddy. It's on.
Oh, is Haz finally in here?
Yep.
Before I move on, I do. So now that we have him in here, I don't want to.
Yeah, he needs to see his group photo. You know that.
I want to endorse what they have going because I feel like it's something special.
It is. It's got to be.
I'm really looking forward to the debut album of the Potomac James Street Boys.
I'm definitely a fan already, and they haven't even dropped the full album. That
I know. We're just getting teases of what is coming out. We've got Blue Cat back, all right. We've got Like a Sturgeon. The list is starting to grow on the songs that are coming out. There's Miss Amy Payne. What's going on? It's gonna be epic. I mean, I really feel like these guys are going to put on an amazing concert, all led by the self-proclaimed superstar 2 Stands Fishing. It's got something special. I really do. Banjos on to Potomac. I can't even say that one.
That's another good one. J-Dog.
Brother, we will hug it out. We will have a brug contest next time I see you.
Only once he gets that thumb fixed. He keeps banging it back up and can't get that thing healed.
There's 2 Stands 3. Did you look? I feel like the whole band is coming in here right now. And
you're only missing one, and you'll have the whole group, right?
I know. We've got Brian. We're missing Dan we're missing Dan and Stan too.
Yeah. Well, we might have to try to get the group on together, and maybe they can actually do a good song next week or a week after.
Yeah.
In the next couple of weeks, get the whole group, and they could actually sing us one of those songs.
Brian B, that ain't happening. You got to fight that one through D, and that is never, ever happening. Just so you know.
Great job, Parker. I'm glad to hear you got the package.
Let's see. Awesome. Nice to see Mr. Freddie in here. So before we go on real quick, I want to make sure we remind everybody, Hamfish Nation right after this. Susan, we need to try to help them get those numbers up.
There's another challenge, Chad.
But Betty Jean, we will talk. I will message you. But this weekend we've got my Muskrat's Youth Kids Tournament, Halloween tournament.
Yep.
So looking forward to that. See what the kids and the parents come up with as far as costumes and fishing. So that's going to be fun. We got the Monster Hunt, which I don't know why Brian B's in it. I ain't ever seen him catch anything more than 2.5 pounds, but he's in it. So we got that on Palmetto Cats. Then next weekend we've got the Slab Masters tournament. The contestants are already chosen for that. We've been scheduling out the days, trying to equal it out so we have ample competition on both days. For some reason, everybody is scared to death of Mark from Catfish and Crappie. When we've got the King of Dinks in the tournament, he's already an underdog. Nobody even thinks he's going to catch anything. Mr. James Dockery. So looking forward to that next weekend. That's November 6th and 7th. So a lot of stuff still coming up. And then we will start working on the next stuff. So what you guys got? What else you want to talk about? We got 10 more minutes. And like I said, I will be jumping over to Panfish Nation right after this because I'm the star of the show, apparently.
I don't know if they can handle all that stardom over there or not.
I know, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not like at the Potomac James Street Boys level, but
you're a step below them, right? That one notch below.
I'm definitely a step below those guys because that's like star power right there. So before we go here, Mr. Bumpin' Mike, what's next for you, brother?
I do have the me and Has November 6th, 1v1.
Oh, really?
Yep. It was supposed to be October, but I had bad weather that day, so I had to postpone it.
I do remember that.
That and just a little bit of fun fishing. Hopefully this river comes up and stays up, flowing about 2 miles an hour, and you'll see Greenwell out there, one rod, getting it done.
You know, they can make a song about you, too. Bump it like it's hot.
That's right.
Yeah?
That's right.
Oh,
that's another
question
thing.
that said, where do you like fishing at, Mike? I'm guessing what body of water do you usually fish at?
I fish the Ohio River. From
Now,
Leavenworth, Indiana, down to Shawneetown, Illinois.
Now, do you fish more of the confluence, or is it above all that where you fish?
Oh, no, I'm way above that.
You are way above that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about 2.5 hour street drive to get down there.
See, I didn't know exactly how far it was for you. I knew you were down past Louisville, though, right?
Yeah, I'm an hour. I'm probably an hour and 50 minutes from Louisville.
Okay. What's going on, Dan? You don't. What do you mean? Who's these guys? You don't know Freddie and Bumpin' Mike Greenwell? I need you to get your life together and be in the community a little bit more often, friend. Because
your other half, Chad, is like digging it for you. You know,
that's what I'm saying. She's the one that says I'm not allowed to bet my beard, even though I wouldn't bet my beard. That's one. Yeah. No. Trust me, that would be worse than Lee Evans with makeup. I'm just saying. Let's see. All right. Carolina Real Screamers says, "Man, I would love to come up there to the Ohio and fish."
There's some issues between the boy band. Has is getting on Brian and Stan about they just the under 2 pound club. So I don't know if there's already some beef within that band there.
That's right there. Some bold statement right there.
I know.
You'd have
now when you get on Panfish Nation, you do have to find out one thing for me while you're there, Chad. I got to find out where I can get one of those Krampus canes. Now, those Krampus canes are popular. I need one of those. I don't know how to get one.
Now, that's very simple. Let me tell you real quick before we end how you could get a hold of the creator of Krampus canes and tell them you want to be one of the first. You just message, either go to Panfish Nation on Facebook or message Lyle Stokes personally and say, hey, I want to order a Krampus cane. When can I get it?
And Chad, I can't believe you ain't brought it up all night, but
what?
Somebody needs to drop James Dockery's link. We got to get him his subs up.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't going to because he's embarrassed that we've pushed him so much, but you're right. As much as I love the man, we got to give him that support. Go and sub my friend James Dockery Fishing. Last I knew, he was at 355, 352, and they are doing the drive for 5 right now, trying to get him on there.
That's the goal, to get him to 5 here as quickly as possible. So if any of the mods out there can pop up James Dockery's link, it'll help him out.
Oh, no, he's breaking up the band and going solo.
He's taking his mic and going home.
Now, do I need to redo this? Because you guys look so happy here. What happened, friend?
I think Chunky came out with a different solo because he wasn't included in the band. You know, he might have broke Haz's heart. So that could have been what happened there. So Haz wants to go on his own now. He don't want to be part of a group.
D wants to know, this is a valid question, why does Stan 3 not look any different than normal? He actually looks like he fits in there. It's normal. I do question Dan's tan, but dude, that orange in a can, tan in the can, I wouldn't do that anymore, bro.
The tan in the can for Dan.
For nothing, you treat him like a king. Last thing, you know, so I think the chat has spoken that Mike, I think you and I both should submit informal writing to the committee over the Weekend Anglers Tacticat and see if we can't have a review of the entire show done to see if we can't pull the win out of Parker Pursuit's, hands there. I think we need to do this, sir. I think it's only right. So
that's back-to-back tournament wins for him. If not, right?
Yeah, well, we might have to go back and re-watch every tournament that Jerry Parker has been a part of now, because it does seem that there may be some shenanigans going on. So,
and then Carolina Real Screamers is out there saying thanks to everybody. They're so close to 200. So if you haven't checked out the Carolina Real Screamers channel, please do. And if you haven't hook set them, try to hook set them and get them above 200. That'd be great for them in this short period of time.
Yeah, they're an awesome fisherman team from Carolina Real Screamers. Even if during the couple showdown, the only thing they could catch was 2 20-pound anchors. They'd had a great time. Where was they fishing? The International Coastal Coliseum or something like that?
Yeah, the Intercoastal Waterways, but yeah, that big long line.
Whatever you said. It was the Intercoastal Continental Coliseum or something like that. So, Mr. Mike, I do appreciate you coming on here tonight, brother.
Hey, no problem, man. It's been fun.
Yeah, I really, thought that you would hit Jerry Parker a little bit harder with, one of your fish was heavier than all 85 fish that he caught that day, and you didn't even give him 1 ounce of grief about it.
I gave him a little bit by catching my bait and not giving it to me, so I figured I'd leave him alone on that one.
All right. Well, I'll let it slide this time. I think I gave him enough grief. Before we go, again, I see JP3, what we brought up earlier in the show. Please send prayers to Pops from K&B Anglers, a.k.a. the Twerking Monkey. Please send him some prayers and thoughts. It really is needed. Like I said, I won't throw out the business out there, but they're just going through some stuff, and I definitely want to lift Pops up. So appreciate that. Again, for Mr. John Parker, John Patrick Jr., if you're watching, happy birthday, brother. Hope it's a wonderful evening. Guys, we are going to jump off here so I can now go flip it into panfish mode and talk like an actual non-hooligan.
Talk about bacon and Krampus canes.
That's all this is going to be, is we're going to talk about bacon and Krampus canes when we go over there. That's all that show ever is anymore. So, messing with the Chad. Appreciate you. As always, guys. Mike, thank you so much for coming on with me tonight. Reddy, appreciate you joining me, filling in as my new sidekick. I mean, I had been begged by J-Dog to get you in here, and he said if he didn't, he was going to take, parts off my boat and stuff like that. So we will see you guys on Panfish Nation and next week. All right. Take care, everybody.